All right, how do I go to market with OCP? A few questions we get quite often. How can OCP help market my solutions? What resources are available to me? How do I get my products to be OCP accepted and inspired? Does that matter? Who cares? What makes an OCP data center OCP ready? And can I visit an OCP Experience Center? And what's in it for me? So before I begin, if you are a member of Open Compute, this is 30% of the value of OCP. 70% at least of the value of Open Compute is in the engineering workshops, the relationships you make working in the projects, the connections you make translate into business opportunities. So if you're joining Open Compute just for the sake of putting something on the website and saying, hey, I'm going to get a bunch of hyperscale business, it's probably not the right community. Really what you get the value out of is working within the technical communities. But for those on the 30%, this is what to address and how to present your company as being affiliated with an open source organization. Logos, brands, certifications, it can get kind of confusing to people out there. The top row has to do with the membership level that you are within your company. Platinum, silver, gold, community level. There's usually two buckets that I tell people to think about Open Compute. One is, how do I want to brand my company? And that is the membership level. I want to associate myself as a community level, platinum, silver, gold, etc. The second row is what I'm here to focus on the most today. And that is, do I have a product or a service that I want OCP's help in selling, or do I want to convey to the market that I offer OCP products and services? So that second row of logos and certifications is what I'm going to address today. The two on the left are reseller logos. That means I'm a branded, certified OCP reseller of a product, a solution, or a service. The middle two, OCP accepted and inspired, mean that I have a product that has been recognized by the technical community as having a specification associated with it, and that my product meets those specifications. And we can brand that or associate or recognize it as accepted and inspired. OCP Ready is designated for a colo operator facility, the actual building. If you're a colo operator, in many cases, OCP hardware might be slightly different. The racks may be heavier, ramp heights, white space, power, electric cooling. We have a set of guidelines that a data center operator can go through, do checks and balances, present their facility to the Open Compute Project Data Center Facilities Project, and become certified as OCP Ready, meaning I understand what OCP hardware is, my facility can handle OCP hardware. So that OCP Ready goes with the facility. The reseller, when you see OCP Colo Solution Provider, that is with the organization. So the left side goes with the organization, the next three go with the product or the facility itself, and the last one is brand new as of today, which is branding the OCP Experience Center, and I'll get into more of that a little bit. But that is, as essence, the top row, how do I brand my company? Second row, do I want OCP's help in marketing a product, solution, or service? All right, here we go. First, awareness. If you're a member, you should take advantage of our social media channels. This is our social media community. We like content. If it is relevant to the community and it benefits the community, we are happy to amplify those messages to our channel. And we've done that, and you'll see that if you're following us on Twitter or LinkedIn, especially this week, where we take someone's corporate announcement and we will amplify that across our community. The community and media mailing list, we have a rich audience of hardware engineers, over 800 media and analysts on our mailing list as well. Again, a great community for relevant technical content. So the community mailing lists themselves are designated straight for technical content not a sales pitch. But the media and analyst mailing list may be relevant for specific product announcements, future roadmap, and specifically contributions as well. Lastly, project contributions, milestones, company news. If you've hired a new SVP of something and you're a member that would be relevant for the community, these are the type of announcements that we're interested in. If you've made a new contribution, if you've opened a new location, if you're expanding, if you have a customer win, all of this that you would normally do through your own marketing channels, you want to use OCP to amplify that message. Because we have OCP individual members that then have a broader set of network as well, and you can get that long tail effect. So don't be shy. I think there is one pervasive thing that I see a lot of our members is they're just shy. I look at their website and they're announcing things that they're not then sharing with us, then allow us to help you get that message out there. Demand generation. One area that we help partners go to market is through our marketplace. The marketplace has been redesigned as of 3 weeks ago, and it will continually get better. So I always tell people I'm about half happy with the way things are right now. We've made some changes. I'd like to see a few more. But now we're focused a bit more on the user experience, user-centric versus product-centric, et cetera. So there's 4 categories. Integrated solutions. This focuses on companies that have taken OCP components, built their solution around it, whether it be software, services, in a rack configuration, and moved it out in the market. Facilities and services. Not only OCP Ready Facilities that I mentioned, but also ecosystem services. If I'm providing a service that enables OCP technology, maybe some heat reuse or some consultative SI integration services, ITAD, recycle services, that could be applicable here. Telecom and Edge, a dedicated section because Telecom and Edge are fast adopters of open hardware. And lastly, products, essentially the product catalog, everything that comes through. All right, here's a list of our current ecosystem resellers. And it spans everything from the first one as an example, Atlantis, Africa, all the big names as well on the ODMs. You have other systems integrators. We have new systems integrators. The folks from Smart Cloud recently joined us as well from Southern California. We have Vespertech out of Manchester, UK. We have Qscale, a colo provider out of Canada. So a really nice broad spectrum of SIs, ODMs, software companies, and that list continues to grow. To be in this program, the fee is $4,000 a year. So add that to your membership fee. Let's say that you're a community member. The entry level on a community member is $2,500. You add $4,000 to that. Your annual budget for OCP could be $6,500. It's $4,000. It doesn't matter what level you are, and it's all you can eat. You have 50 products. You can list all 50. The marketplace views, on average, around 6,000 to 8,000. It bumps up considerably during this time of year around Summit. So that number almost will close to double here in the next month because we get a lot of views for people coming in and taking a look during Summit. It's a nice mix between North America, Europe, and Asia. I don't put LATAM on here because there's just not enough traffic in there for it to register. North America is up year over year. Europe tends to be a bit flat, and APAC is up. APAC is primarily North Asia. Everything from Korea, Japan, India as well. Top 10 countries visiting our marketplace. So not just the website, but going into the marketplace. A few things that are interesting about this: Russia, China, nothing is localized on our website. It's all in English, but yet we still get people that are heavily, heavily interested in open source visiting our website. Taiwan, primarily vendors taking a look at specifications and seeing how that rolls into product. This list has not really changed in the last year. South Korea tends to drop off and come back on. India has always been on there, and France tends to drop on and drop off. All right, the marketplace redesign, the way it used to be versus the way it is now. It's audience and workload centric and not product or rack centric. We have a dedicated facility section. We now have hardware aware software tags, so people that are running open systems firmware or Redfish, those tags can be profiled. An Experience Center section, as I mentioned prior, the ecosystem services section, and a more intuitive, hopefully cleaner UI. I'm going to give you 3 or 4 examples here of the marketplace. This is the company that I mentioned, Smart Cloud Solution. Yasser, raise your hand. I would talk to these folks if you want to know about OCP. Really interesting solution they have. I would highly recommend you spend just a few minutes hearing about the good and the struggles that they have around starting up an OCP business. The folks at Advanced HPC are there with them. Alex, raise your hand. All right, right there. This is a 2-rack configuration. It's under private cloud. They're working with a lot of community members to make this solution go, running on Triton OS, and they can tell you all about the benefits of OCP on the CapEx and the efficiency and what it's doing for some of their customers. Marketplace redesign, example 2. This is around facilities and ecosystem services. This is a research institute out of Sweden. They have OCP hardware. They will do LCA, they will do heat reuse comparisons between legacy hardware and OCP hardware, and they will help you on some thermal, as well as many other types of studies up there in Sweden. It's in Luleå, it's way up north, it's by the Facebook data center, so you're gonna make some journeys up there, but some of the work that they do remotely is very, very interesting as well. And they have an OCP Experience Center. The marketplace redesign number 3. I like this tap card. This is new as of a few days ago. The Time Appliance project is a project that started about 2 years within OCP. This is one of the first contributions coming out of it. Now, this company in London, they're going to be in the Experience Center here at OCP. I would encourage you to take a look at them. They're based in London. I connected them with one of our resellers as well. This takes essentially a $30,000 or a $50,000 solution and drops it to $3,000 based on the open source nature of that card. Cards are now listed on here as well as the NICs. And then I did mention the hardware aware software tags, and you can see the DMTF or Redfish profiles that are listed, and the OCP inspired tag on that Aowanda Edge server. Edge servers now accounting for about 4 out of the top 10 products that are viewed on our website. That's a big shift from a year ago. So of the top 10 products that are being viewed, Edge servers, we have 7 Edge servers, and 4 of them are in the top 10 already. Marketplace redesign, number 4. This is the OCP Ready example. Facility out of Tianjin, just outside of Beijing, and the new one in Princeton Digital Group in Singapore, and they have another one coming up in India. PDG out of Singapore, they run about 15 data centers across APAC and doing some really interesting work. I've highlighted where you can click on the specification. What's good about Open Compute is everything is in the open. As I'd mentioned, OCP Ready Facilities, you fill out a checklist based on our requirements. That checklist is then documented and shared, and now it is posted. So if you're looking for colo facilities, you can download the checklist of each one of these facilities and compare them against each other and see what white space they might compare, what ramp heights, loading docks, all that. Everything is in the open. And that's good if I'm a customer looking for colo space. The new Experience Center program. We did this to help seed emerging markets. This has been happening for a while. The person that first started the first OCP Experience Center is Menno. If you ever want to know about the joy of trying to do something like that, when there's not a program around, you can talk to him. It's an amazing effort. Fast forward a few years, and now we've formalized the program. It can vary. It can be a simple demo lab. It can be something that does certification and paid for services. The great thing about an OCP Experience Center is it reaches across various aspects of OCP. It's not just a demo lab, but it can be software, it can be data center facilities. It's really quite impressive. It does not serve the laggards in the market. We focus on early adopters, innovators, people that are in the front of this curve. Here's an example. George at the keynote this morning shared this slide. I'm going to call out just a few of them. The ones in the upper left, Vesper. It's a company out of the UK. It's a lab just set up in their office. And they run customers through that, and they can do POCs, and they do rack integrations out of that, and you can do testing. But it's a pretty interesting lab that they have set up, and they do some work with KO Data, which is another member, right around the research corridor around Cambridge. The second one, Deutsche Telekom. This is a joint lab between Deutsche Telekom, the German government. We're doing Open Networking Foundation work in there. We're doing TIP, the telecom infrastructure work there. OCP has some work in there from Nokia, Eufy Space, EdgeCore, WeWin. And that is a public lab where they're doing 5G and Open RAN work. And OCP is very heavily involved in that. So that's kind of an alliance blueprint lab. The next one's Stortus, an open networking only provider based in Germany. They have 2 open networking labs. You can do Sonic, you can do all kinds of open networking training, testing, validation, cord work, central office, all coming out of Stortus in Germany. Main Cubes, our very first OCP Experience Center, is really probably one of our bigger ones. Multiple pods, multiple racks of OCP hardware. They do POCs, and then they transition them right into the data center. That Main Cubes is in the data center, so they hold the OCP hardware there for testing, POC, and then they move them right in to their core production unit. ARM recently opened up today. They're going to be doing 5G. That's a partner also with Tech Mahindra. They can do ARM systems ready there. And then the last one I'll mention is the one up there with Telkom University. That is a telecom infrastructure lab based in Bandung, right outside of 2 hours outside of Jakarta. And we have a dedicated OCP room there with OCP racks, servers, and they have student engineers working full-time in that telecom infra lab, proofing blueprints to go to market. So it's a small snapshot. I'm expecting a lot more of this. So the idea of not being able to see a piece of hardware or not being able to get your hands on it or knowing what OCP is quickly going away. It used to be an obstacle about 4 or 5 years ago, but now it's pretty easy to take a look at this. All right. I'll put this in here. You guys can take a look at the links. You'll see the deck later. Great videos. These product experience centers, the videos that some of these members put together are quite impressive. We helped co-produce the one on the left, and the one on the right was done by the members. But these are professional sizzle reels that show you everything from what's happening in the lab all the way through deployment. This is another way where you get that marketing engine running. This is the type of content that we can then push and leverage. And I show these type of things when I'm out at industry events. And I highly recommend they do not have to be formally and professionally produced. Some of the best videos out there are just an engineer sitting down and talking about 1 or 2 different things between an OCP server and a regular server. Then we take that and we can really use it. It works very, very well on our content engines. Industry partner-led events, we do this quite often. We do a lot of these with industry and other organizations. The one on the left is an example of something we did with the Bahrain Telecom Authority. The one on the right is a traditional webinar that we did with Stortus, the open networking guys in Germany. But the one on the left is Bahrain, ONF, where we can have a network partner come in, or even a network reseller, and talk about what's happening in the network industry. And that's an opportunity for you if you're an open networking partner. These are the types of things we do all the time, and it gives you more value out of your membership. Thought leadership. I do these interviews. They're thought leadership pieces. They're not really sales pitches, but they're more finding out what's going on with the industry, hearing your opinion on the market. I do them for customers, called Running on OCP. I do them for our resellers, called the SP Spotlight. And on the right, our members put together white papers, and we can help proof these papers. They count as a contribution. And these are very, very interesting, where members can get their name into a contribution and into a white paper, and we can start to market that. And these are low touch, low effort, high yield activities. Videos, webinars, white papers, they don't take a lot of months and months and months of writing a specification, getting the product branded. These are things that people can turn out quite fast, especially if you have somebody to help you write a white paper on a thought-provoking subject. We can take that and move with it. We can sandwich it between some OCP stuff and we can go. All right, more thought leadership. One on the left, done by Menno's team previously. In and out in 40 seconds. Just shows the difference between changing a part in an OCP rack versus a legacy rack. Amazing number of views. Done extremely well. And I use this a lot in my presentations, and I send it to prospects. And I tell people the benefit of OCP. The one on the right, what is inside an OCP rack? Probably the best 15 minutes of OCP stuff on the web. Go into YouTube, type in what's inside an OCP rack, 14 minutes and something done by this media group. This guy walks through what's inside an OCP rack. Not professionally done on a trade show floor. Fantastic. Really gives somebody a sense of what's different. Training and workshops. If you're a member, you have a facility, we're happy to talk about hosting a workshop with you. We're happy to help you put your brand out there within an OCP workshop. Maybe you co-brand it, maybe you run one yourself. We've done these virtually, we've done these in person. We've done boot camps, technical workshops. They're great. Member landing pages. So everything I've covered up to now are the things that we do on our content pages or on public content pages. What really notices and what really makes a smooth transition is if I'm on our site and I go over to your site, don't make me go through the searching process again about finding information around OCP. Take me to a soft landing page that has a lot of OCP information on it. That's a good user experience. The people that we find that have decent landing pages get a better conversion rate than if I just send you to your homepage and you have to start searching all over for the product that I was just looking at on our page. Build an interactive, interesting landing page. The one on the left is done by Vesper. It also has that embedded video in it. The one on the right is done by MainCubes out of the Netherlands. They even have a questionnaire. Is OCP right for you in our colo facilities? And they make you walk through a quick little 5 questionnaire thing. Is it good for you? And they also talk about some other benefits when they're on OCP. A good landing page, good experience. It's a good place to put your logos too. Our logos are vastly underused by our community. If you're a member, use the logo, you paid for it. Lastly, Career Center. We now have a Career Center on our homepage. It's in the upper right. It's free. You can post jobs there. You can search for jobs. On the right, lastly, I left it to the very last because you're at one. It's our summit. We're having one next April in Prague. These are great. Kaylee, stand up. Kate, stand up. These are the two young ladies that are heavily responsible for the success of this one, and they can talk to you about Prague, and I highly recommend, if you're interested in the summit, these two can tell you all the good stuff that's coming in April in Prague. And that is it. Leverage the brand. If you paid for it, use it. If you want to talk about the SP program, talk to me about it. Happy to help. Build your OCP brand. But again, get involved in the community on the technical side. That's where a lot of your business stuff happens. And that's it. Thanks for the time.